I'm Roger Myerson. I'm a professor of economics at the University of Chicago. I had forgotten how many great people were at Warwick. Walking down the corridors and seeing people, or seeing the names, not seeing the people, but seeing their names on the office. I've forgotten how many people I admire are here. Today I tried to give, I introduced it as an undisciplined lecture. Rather than try to be, as I normally should be and am, as careful as possible about proving a very limited number of ideas. I wanted to speak more speculatively and sometimes in more storytelling way about the really important questions of social theory that we're trying to understand. I was given a title of Politics and War, which is big, and I tried to talk about how political machines are built to understand how the governments that we rely on for the health and prosperity of our country are formed, and how military power comes from a stronger state, and by thinking about the absolute foundations of politics and society. People, when they're in university, are preparing for careers where they'll, in very different areas of our society, some may be in government, some may be in businesses, some may follow the path that I did into scholarship itself, but all of them will be influenced by the kinds of questions and discussions that they hear at this stage. As with any professor, I may have made much greater contributions to the welfare of our society that we hope we can value by helping many students to see things a little better. Someone who wants to be a scholar and researcher in economics has an intuition. It may come from your political preferences. You feel strongly that there's certain kinds of things we need to do to make a better country or a better world, and a lot of people don't seem to see that. That's an idea. That's the kind of feeling that we might call a political ideology. That is an important political. But that motivation, and maybe your ideology, your ideological concerns are very different from mine. But I would say what you think, and maybe you don't want to think of, maybe it's not political, maybe it's something very non-political that you're thinking is something that people don't understand about well enough about how to make a better society for ourselves in this country or in the world. Any intuition you have about that is valuable. Now the next question is, how can you, using the methodology of economics, help to deepen understanding about these important questions that you care about? Research happens then you have to learn the methods, the statistical or theoretical, analytical methods of economics, and then how can you very carefully use those methods to shed even a little bit more light on these important questions that you feel strongly about, that you feel strongly we don't understand well enough yet. If you do good work in economics, if you do great work in economics, it will be because using good analytical methodology where you learned the mathematical or other techniques of the field very carefully in your apprenticeship, if you will use them to make just a little bit of, offer a little bit clearer way of seeing, another way that offers some clarity, some additional perspective on some much bigger question, but your sense of what's a big question that's important. That's important. That's as important as learning the methods, the technical methods of the field.